The Dead Pair Podcast is brought to you by Kolar Arms, America's competition shotgun, and is fueled by Fiocchi.
Paul?
Welcome to the Dead Pair Podcast, coming in hot with everything you want to hear about sporting clays. With your hosts, Jason Rambo.
You just didn't want my wife to edit something else you did.
And Sean Alley.
Gotta keep it PG-13, man.
Often imitated, but never duplicated. It's the Dead Pair Podcast.
The Dead Pair.
And now, it's showtime.
Welcome back, everyone. What's up, Mr. Large and in charge?
Well, I hate to sound like a broken record, but damn it, it's cold up here. I mean, it's cold up here.
They have a solution for that.
Don't even start with me, Jason Rambo.
You know, it's only a high of 65 here today, Sean and I.
Yeah, I think it was 4 when I got up this morning, and the truck did not even want to start.
Do you want me to play that little violin thing for you?
Big violin. Big violin.
Big violin. Oh, my goodness. Well, listen, no excuses, right? Don't take snow for an answer. Get out there, practice, shoot. Remember, you can only trust the next chapter if you're the author, right?
Yeah, what's frostbite anyways, right?
Yeah, you don't need those fingers. So, but anyway, hey, Sean, we've got where somebody can click on the, and down in the show description, the little fan mail button thing where they can send us a letter. We got a letter from someone. They tried to include a picture, which you can't do that on there, and there's no way of responding through that. So I'd like to read this, kind of like what we did last week, Sean. Let's read this real quick. So, anonymous person, he wrote, I just finished listening to the first show of 2025, and I have learned a lot in the last year. Just a little backstory. My daughter trapped the North Central Regional at Northbrook in 2023. Her first time doing it, and I also helped her for the day. Didn't know anything about the NSCA at the time. After that week and the experience, my daughter wanted to shoot tournaments just like all the pros. Then in 2024, she did and loved it. Now, after watching her and listening to y'all, I'm ready to embarrass myself. So I joined, and I will be shooting my first tournament at the Jack Links Cup alongside her. Oh boy, he's stepping off into a big one.
Yeah, he is.
He said, when I embarrass myself, I'll have you guys to thank, LOL, because you keep saying, get out and shoot a tournament, experience it, and have fun. There is not anything in the world more fun than spending time with your kids and being able to play beside them in the same sport for as long as you want. Other sports don't have that because my old man body can't handle it. Here is also a picture of my daughter when you all signed her hat at Northbrook. Thanks again for what you do. Can't wait to see you in Florida. Sean, there's a lot of points here I want to bring up. Let's start with this one right here. He's worried about embarrassing himself. Should he be there, Sean?
No. I mean, listen, you don't know what you don't know. And you can't go out there thinking you're going to be, Michael Jordan if you've never played basketball before, or
Right.
Tiger Woods if you've never golfed before. So why would you assume that you're going to go out there and, rip it up on your first tournament shooting sporting clays? Look, it's not about that. When you're getting started, it's about learning the fundamentals, learning how the tournaments work. It is nice to go out there. And, I mean, going to the Jack Links is going to be a big step for him, probably way above the targets that he's seen. Although if he was at the North Central Regional at Northbrook, then he's seen some targets if he was helping his daughter trap. But I still think, that's not the right way to look at it. I would say go there with the best expectation of having fun, meeting a lot of people, experiencing the event, experiencing the atmosphere, and maybe bumping into a few of the more well-known shooters out there that you see on the cover of the magazines. And whatever else happens, just sit back and enjoy the ride. That's exactly what I would tell anybody in this situation.
Yeah, and another thing too, being able to participate with his daughter, like you said, you think of all the kids' games. Sean, your son played football, he played lacrosse. You couldn't go out there and participate with him.
Hell no.
And this is something he can get. And I think that's what's awesome about our sport, and that he's taking the chance. He's joined the NSCA. He's going to go shoot some registered targets. So I think this is a great letter. I love hearing this. And like I said, unfortunately, he couldn't attach the picture. But you know what, man? If you or your daughter, sir, whoever you are, if you have Facebook account, man, get on there and post that picture on our Dead Pair Public group page. Love to see it.
Yeah, and one last thing. I think a lot of people get in their head, especially when they're first starting out, that, you get on your first squad, you start going through the stations, and I think a lot of people think in the back of their head that other people are watching them. Well, yes and no. First of all, people watch you, but they're more likely watching the targets, and they're not going to care. They really aren't. They're there to shoot their tournament. They're there to focus on their shooting. And while they might observe you, nobody's going to bag on you because you're not shooting well or you're not shooting, lights out like a Zach Keenbaum or an Anthony Mattery. So, again, put that out of your head. It's not like that.
Right. I mean, I think the most important thing, let's not worry about your score, especially if it's your first tournament. Just go out there and have fun. And maybe nothing else. If you are worried about score, use it as something to train with. Right.
That's right.
Make some notes. And what challenged you the most? What did you fail the most at? And what can you go back and work on and fix? But I think just going out there and shooting with his daughter, I think he's going to have a great time. So
absolutely.
But hey, Sean, tonight we are talking to the Honeybelles organization down here in Florida, ladies organization. There's another one just like it called the Divas, which we're going to be talking to them next. But for tonight, it's the Honeybelles. We're going to have the lovely Miss Dee Orr come on and talk to us. Looking forward to that. That'll be pretty good.
Yeah, I talked to Dee a little bit, setting all this up. Seems like a great lady, has a lot of experience. I think she'll be very entertaining. And especially for the other lady shooters out there, I think she's going to have a lot of great information about, getting into the sport and what the Honeybelles can offer a new lady shooter.
Yep, absolutely. Well, listen, everyone, Sean, let's go ahead and get Dee on the phone.
The Dead Pair.
Everybody, it's a pleasure to have Dee Orr of the Honeybelles on the phone. Dee, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. It's so nice to be here with you all today.
It's a lot warmer down here, isn't it, Dee, than what they're dealing with up there?
Yeah, and it's 60 degrees and we're all freezing.
Yeah, I have so much sympathy for you guys right now. When I woke up, it was like 4 this morning. I was just telling Jason earlier. So, well, Dee, to start off, let's take a little bit of background for our listeners that don't know who you are. Tell us who you are, where you're from. When did you get started shooting?
Well, I'm originally from the Eastern Shore of Maryland, Delaware area, and I got started shooting in 2003. I was 52 years old. I went to a dude ranch in Wyoming with some girlfriends, and we shot some clays off a trap, and I liked it when they blew up. So we came back home. I went to Pinto Point, and ultimately we joined and started shooting there. Took some ladies' clinics there, in fact.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Well, you since then have really racked up some accolades. Like, you've done well. You want to share some of your favorites with us?
Well, I'm 73 years old now, and I've been on the ladies All-American teams for the last 17 years. I'm not going to be on the 2025, and I'm pretty happy with that. I've been state champion in Maryland and also Delaware. I've done well at nationals. I was very fortunate in 2008. I was chosen to be on Ladies Team USA and got to go to Lakenheath, England, and represent the country. That was an incredible moment.
Nice.
Other than that, I went to the International Clay Target Shooting Federation World English Championships in Canada in 2013 and won my own individual world championship. I had a pretty good weekend up there.
That's awesome.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Dee, tell us, I know you've traveled a lot, you've shot a lot. What's your favorite? Is there a shoot that stands out to you the most, that you had the most fun at, or that you enjoy going back to every year?
Wow. That's a tough question.
Well, that's what we do here. We ask the tough questions.
That really is a tough question, because I just like shooting, and I love seeing the people. So I guess now that I'm down here, the nice thing is when they have the big shoots like the Jack Links and the RC Cup, and everybody from up north, my old friends from up there, because, we mostly hung out at M&M and Pintail Point and Hopkins up in that area. And now they all come down here to see me. So I figure it's like my own little time for them to come and see. And I get to see all those people. And that's just great, because it's really For me, it's the people.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about the Honeybelles tonight. Can you tell us how that started? How did the Honeybelles, what is the Honeybelles and how did it start?
The Honeybelles is the ladies' initiative of the Florida Sporting Clays Association. Back in 2017, when Louise Terry was on the board, and also Rollins Brown, they wanted to raise the target fees by a penny.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to know what they were going to do with it. So they said, well, we're going to highlight part of that money and start a ladies' initiative, and also the youth, supporting the youth with some of those monies. And that's kind of how it started. There were 5 of us in the beginning, 5 ladies, and it was going to be based on ladies teaching ladies. So it was Louise, Robin Nixon, Lynn Casella, Connie McIntosh, and myself. And somehow I was elected to administrate it.
Somehow
Lucky
you got
you.
stuck in there.
Well, Dee, let me ask you this. So I know this is a very broad question, so answer it any way you want. What is it about women joining this sport that you feel might be more challenging than for a guy to do it? And why do you think that, this was necessary?
I think it was necessary because a lot of women are intimidated by the clubs and simply the environment, because they looked at it back then as the good old boys club. And so, and they come in, and sometimes, their boyfriends or husbands will bring them, but there's a lot of jargon used. And it's very intimidating when you hear these words that you don't know what mean. And the way I explain it is, nobody wants to feel foolish or stupid. And a simple matter of educating people on the basics of this, take that away. So they can go in and they say, yes, I'd like to rent shotgun number 53, and I'd like some of this Federal 1180 feet per second ammo, and I'd like a target card, please, and a golf cart. Well, so now they've come in and they know what they're asking for, and they feel like they're comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Feel like they've made some educated decisions in the clubhouse and kind of stewed away all the, well, you should do this and you should do that. And let me show you how to do this and that. So I get it.
And that's what we do in our beginners class. We actually have an outline with a full classroom where we go over all that stuff, and make sure they know, okay, all 20 gauge shells are yellow. We go over different parts of etiquette, and we go different parts of what's to say, the proper way, safety, the gun has to be open, the breech has to be open, those type of things.
The basics. Yeah. The safety basics. Yeah.
Well, along those same lines, again, just kind of sticking to my original question, what also do you think are challenges that lady shooters kind of face as they get into the sport versus your typical guy shooter?
Guns that don't fit them.
Okay. I figured you're going to bring something like that up. Anything else that kind of sticks out there?
Oh, yeah. You'd be surprised how many people that you see, and they have a gun that's about, way too long for them, not only in the barrel, but in the stock. They're stretching to get it. They're leaning back far enough. They shoot it right. They're going to have, somebody's going to have to catch them. Yeah. You look at their you look at their shells, and they're shooting nitros.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whammy shells.
Right.
Yeah. And their gun, instead of being in the pocket, is over here somewhere on the rotator cuff, which is going to lead to surgery.
Right.
So, the little things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I imagine that you guys at the Honeybelles, do you hold like a schedule of classes, or do you just wait until enough people join? Or like if somebody was to join today, when would they be able to go out with somebody and kind of learn the ropes? Is it a process of waiting, or do you have like a schedule that you follow?
We have a scheduled clinics.
Okay.
We actually, we started, like I said, let me go back a minute and let's say we started this in April of 2017. We did 3 clinics. Our first clinic was at OK Corral when Brian Palmer was there.
Okay.
Because I went to him and he actually captured the vision, understood what we wanted to do, and said, we're on.
Okay.
And then following him was Maria and Fred Finisi at Quail Creek. They got it. They got the picture. So those were our first 3. From then on, we just hit the ground running. So at this point, we do probably 10 clinics a year, a season. Our season runs from September to April.
Wow.
Because it's too darn hot in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't come. So at this point, we're taking a year and a half off for COVID. Thank you. We've done 88 clinics.
Wow.
We average putting 150 women through our clinics per season. We had one at OK Corral, our first one in 2025. Last Sunday, we had 18 women. 8 of them had never picked up a gun before.
Wow.
That is awesome.
And fortunately now we can give them the sirens and they can shoot something, because Siren has provided us with demo guns to use for our clinics. Now, when I get down to the numbers, the sheer numbers are pretty amazing. We've done different ladies, like Mary Sue Jane, 711 different ladies.
Wow.
But then we had to add other clinics because they kept wanting to come back. So we had a second level. So total attendees are 1,097 to date.
That's so cool.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So let me dive into this a little bit, Dee. If first of all, who can be in the Honeybelles? Is there an age group, like too old, too young, anything like that? Longest
women.
Yeah, right. Right.
All
there you
ages.
go. Sorry, Sean, you're out.
We have some honey dudes that, some of our ladies call them the honey dudes want to come.
Yeah, there you go, Sean. There you go. Okay, so give us a rundown. If a lady wants to join the Honeybelles, what does that process look like? Where does she need to go? How does she get a hold of you? When does all this happen?
Well, she can find us a couple ways. We have a Facebook forum that's dedicated to ours. It's the FSCA Honeybelles. And by the way, that's Honeybelles spelled with an ES, because it's, there's an orange called a Honeybelle.
Okay.
But ours is HONEYBELLES, like ladies.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Honeybelles.
And we can thank Connie McIntosh for that.
Yeah, there you go.
You can find us, you could Google us and find us there. That's our forum. And then we set that up so the ladies could communicate back and forth. Because I was not happy with when somebody said, oh, could you give me Sue's email or something, giving out people's personal information.
Yeah.
So we set up the forum, and now they join that and they just talk back and forth, make dates to shoot, we announce all our stuff there. It seems to work pretty well. And recently, one of our coaches, Lynette Thorstensen, she created a website for us.
Oh, cool.
Now, the easiest way, and that has all our information, photos and everything. The easiest way to find that is to go to the FSCA website, which is flsportingclays.com. And then there's a link to the Honeybelles, our program there. And I'm hoping, she and Sylvia Godby here, who started in our clinics a few years ago, have now become the ones that are rising, that I'm hoping will take this over in the future. I can retire.
So,
again,
does the Honeybelles only cover certain regions, or is it just for the state of Florida or certain areas or anything?
The Honeybelles are just the state of Florida. However, okay. I've been in contact with many other states that they've contacted and wanted the information. And I send them our entire program, the whole layout of how we did it, what we do exactly. In fact, the Annie Oakleys were one of those, and they contacted me. Don Curry had them call, and we gave them all the information of what we did, and they're going strong.
Wow.
Now, they've set theirs up a little differently. I think they're a 501c3. We are not.
Okay.
We operate under the guise of the FSCA, which is a 501c7 social club.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, but our program is based on ladies teaching ladies, because we find the communication barrier is gone. The women they're comfortable, they're easy, they're just relaxed. We make our coaches. We now have 19 certified female instructors in our program.
Wow.
And when we do our clinics, we keep the ratio at 1 instructor to 3 students. We found over time that seems to be the best ratio. The beginners start with an hour in a classroom going over all the stuff I mentioned before, and then they shoot 25 targets out on the course. And for somebody who's never picked up a gun, let me tell you, 25 is a lot of targets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Now, I remember the first time I shot 25. I'm like, I'm good. Let's go home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we've added the basic plus, which is for more novices, some with a little experience, and they skip the class and they go out and they shoot 50 targets. And we do this at a ridiculous price. Our beginners class is $45. It includes the instruction, the ammo, the targets, the golf cart.
Oh, wow. That's
$45.
That's a steal.
That is a
yes.
steal.
And the basic plus is $65. It also is all inclusive. And because the reason we can do that is 2 things. First of all, of course, Siren gives us loaner guns for the put in the ladies' hands. The clubs give us member prices for the targets thrown. And on that day, they donate all the golf carts we need to use. And the instructors get paid a small $50 stipend. And that's why we can do it at that price.
So speaking of that, Dee, you just said instructors. I know that you have some gals, some instructors that come out and participate. Can you tell us who some of those professional lady instructors are?
Sure. Oh, yeah. Well, basically, they weren't professional instructors. So a lot of them have come through our program and been shooters that we've put through the instructor program. We support. When some of our ladies have gone to the fact they want to be instructors, the FSCA supports part of their tuition to take the course. So, I mean, there's 19 of us right now. So you want me to list all the names?
Well, no, I was just looking for
it's all through. It mostly, some of them were already women shooters, and they just wanted to give back. That's how I got into it.
Yeah.
That's how Louise Terry got into it. That's how Robin got into it. And Lynn.
Well, I know you had mentioned, I know Grace Callahan has came and helped.
She's helped us from time to time.
And I think you said Desi?
Actually, no. Desi is not a part of our thing. However, I have a special event coming up that I talked to she and Diane Sorrentino, and they're going to do a clinic for some of our ladies on the Monday after the Jack Links. They're going to stay, and so we filled out. Yeah. So, but that's really separate from the Honeybelles. That's some of our more advanced ladies, and I talked to Desi and Diane and got that set up, and then let some of our ladies know, and that kind of filled in an hour, and then we added Tuesday morning. Because it's a great opportunity, for them to be able to learn from those national champions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, they're not doing it at the same price point we do ours.
Sure. Well, I know you said Siren is helping out. The clubs are helping out. Do you have other partners that are working with you, like ammo, gear sponsors, or any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I'm able now to buy federal ammo at a good price, which helps.
Yeah. Yep. And the Siren guns are really important because basically they're made for women shooters, right?
Huge. The Siren guns are huge. It's amazing that these women can pick up those guns and shoot them.
That different.
They've done so well. They've done so much simply because, most of the changes are in the stock. Mm-hmm. And the stock is about an inch shorter. It has a smaller grip, so your finger to the trigger. Mm-hmm. It has cast off at the face for the higher cheekbones and short, and it has a semi-Monte Carlo for the longer necks, and it has pitch for our anatomy.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's so important, and I'm glad you brought that up because I think the biggest detriment when Sean, you've done it. You know, you take a new gal out shooting, and the guns. Well, first of all, guns are not made to fit anybody right out of the box. I mean, they're just not. And when you hand a lady a gun, you can see it. You know, the length of pull's way off. She's holding it way out in front of her. It's just going to kick the crap out of her. And then once that happens, they lose interest. It's like, you know, why do I want to shoot? I'm going to get beat up. I'd love to shoot some more, but I don't even want to be a part of this. So in order to get a girl into a gun that fits properly before she even gets started, I think is just so key and so huge. So good on you girls for doing that.
Well, it's, you know, we can thank Les Wang because this all came about. And I know when it came about simply because I wrote for Clay Shooting USA at the time, and I reviewed the guns. And it was 10 years ago when they came out with this. And it all came because his wife went to a charity shoot with some other ladies. And she came back. She says, "This is fun. I want to do this." And his whole warehouse, he couldn't. And his, you know, Deirdre is a tall, thin woman. And in his whole warehouse, he couldn't find a gun to fit her.
Wow.
So, and at that point, we all of us who were competitive female shooters, we just went to a custom stock maker. That was our option, period.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what we did. And he actually got in touch with those stock makers and got some dimensions from them all. And that's how this got started. So heads off to him. And now other companies have followed suit. So now we have lots of options.
So let me throw this question out there, Dee, and I'm not looking for like an exact answer. I'm just asking maybe for like a percentage off the top of your head. Of all the new ladies you brought in, it's over 1,000, you said, which is unbelievable. How many of those do you think like really took such a fondness to the game that they actually started competing, you know, shooting some registered targets?
Well, we have a couple of fun shoots, you know, because once we had them shooting, I decided we needed to have some competitions for the ladies.
Yeah.
Because now that's step 2 of their education and getting into this.
Right.
So we had some ladies' fun shoots. And that showed them how to sign up for a shoot, the squatting, how it all worked, and so on and so forth. Last year, we had Siren now actually stepped up and now for the last 4 years has sponsored our spring shoot. And last year, he even gave us a gun to give away. It was amazing.
Very nice.
But we had 104 women shooting in that in our fun shoot.
Very cool.
And then we have another one that we do in the fall. So we do at least 2 of those a year. And then I try to get them, we have a league going on. We're on the 4th year of having our leagues. So usually there's a handful that do a lot more doing charity shoots. A lot of them have come on the trapper, which we need so badly down here. A lot of the ladies are filling the role of trapper, especially during the Florida swing. Right. But to give you an idea, what impact maybe we've had a hand in, I did the math last year for the Caribbean Classic. And I did the math. I like statistics. I think they tell a story.
Yes.
And I looked at every event, and in every event last year, 10% of the entries were women or better.
Wow.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's huge.
Yeah, because, I mean, let's face it, this has been predominantly a male sport, through most of its existence. So I'm loving hearing that. I'd like to hear it at 20, I'd like to hear it higher than that. But do you see a lot of women that just go on to shoot NSCA tournaments and stuff like that beyond the charity shoots and stuff? Do you see some of that transition?
Oh yeah. Some of that's happening. It happens slowly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because some of the targets down here can be pretty daunting.
Oh yeah. There's some space
down here.
Right
now with our new league coming up, we're getting ready to start the winter league. And that usually bases, they have 2 weeks to shoot at this club and 2 weeks to shoot at this and 2 weeks at that. But we're also adding for the March segment of it that they shoot the super sporting at one of the 5 opportunities they have on the weekends in March at the registered shoots to kind of introduce them to that on a quieter way, so to speak.
Yeah.
Another fun thought is, and this happened this amazed me. A lot of the ladies, they want to shoot with their husbands. They want an opportunity to shoot with their husband. I get this all the time. So I said, okay. So in November, I talked to Michael out at Quail Creek and I said, hey, look, I wanted to have a couple shoot. Are you good with that? We're going to make it a cover shoot, so you don't have to change all your traps. You know, one person shoots, the second person shoots. If they miss the second bird and the second pair, you hit it around the station, that kind of thing. And I figured, we're going to have 15 or 20 pairs. And we also could do pairs. So if a couple of women wanted to shoot with each other, they could do that too.
Right.
We had 45 pairs.
Really?
Last Sunday at 1:00.
Nice.
Sunday before last at Quail Creek.
How fun. That is
Oh my
cool.
gosh. There were at 1:00 on a Sunday afternoon, there were 90 people on the course shooting.
Wow.
It was amazing. You know, because they just want to play.
Yeah.
And
Well, hey, Dee, along those lines, so I just curious. So when a new lady joins your organization or comes to their first clinic, how often do you see them going back and bringing their friends along for the ride after they get comfortable?
oh, most of our growth has been word of mouth.
Okay.
Really?
Absolutely. One lady comes and she has a good time, and when she'll come by the next time with 3 other friends and her sister.
Okay.
And then that's how we've grown to this. That we couldn't have done this there's no advertising like word of mouth.
Right.
And they come and they have a good time, and it's been fun for them, and they're back with their friends.
Well, and obviously that's a huge compliment to what you're doing, because if they're having fun and enjoying themselves, they're like, hey, I'm going to invite Linda and Mary and Julie and bring them out too, because I think they'd enjoy this. And I imagine from there, they probably start getting into their little clique and maybe going out once a month and trying to do shoots otherwhere, travel around, maybe go to some different clubs and shoot some different targets, I would imagine. I mean, just like everybody else does.
We have a lot of them that do that. They just want to go around the state and shoot at different places.
That's so cool.
So
that's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for.
And that's why the clubs support us, because, when we do these clinics, we do them over here on this side, but we also do them, we do Quail Creek, Vero, and OK Corral over here. But we also do Square One, we do Tampa Bay, we do Fish Hawk, Polk, and we'll go back to Polk again when they get settled in their new location. So we've got that side going a little bit too. We've been up to St. Augustine and stuff, but part of the reason we are not everywhere all of the time is the travel, because our coaches are volunteering their time.
Sure.
Right.
So it's hard so we try to go to a place where, hey, we'll do this and we'll get it started for you, but we need you to have some local women that can step in and carry it forward.
Yeah.
Well, and that's my point, because as you know, I mean, Jason and I are big advocates of just getting anybody out, whether it's, your kids, your spouse or whatever. Usually what we've seen is that if you can at least give somebody the opportunity to go out and pick up a gun and take a whack at a few clay birds, it's usually fun enough that, it's like, well, this is great. I want to keep doing this. Right. I mean, so we say it week in and week out, it sells itself.
There's nothing like being personally responsible for blowing up that pottery.
That's right. That's a good feeling to watch that smile. I tell you what, when you ever take somebody out that's never shot and you put a gun in their hand and they miss a few birds, when they finally connect with one and you see that smile on their face, that's worth everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Once they connect and they dirtball that target, once they've done that the first time, it sells itself. Really, it does.
Yeah.
And it's really amazing, because so many of the feedback someone we get would actually makes me cry from time to time. And I'm pretty tough. But it's like, you've changed my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it's something they never thought they could do.
Yeah.
Right.
They're like, it's just amazing. It's just amazing, the feedback we get. 100%. All the reward in the world right there.
We need to get these gals some stickers, and I don't know how many shirts we got left, but we need to send them some.
Yeah, I'll have to go over and dig through the totes and see what we've got left. We'll have to put a little care package together and send it down to you, Dee. I'll have to get your address and maybe I'll put something together. I'll mail it down to you.
But another thing about the Honeybelles, there's no membership fee.
Oh, really?
There's no membership fee.
So it's completely supported by the The Florida Sporting Clays Association.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so often when they take it, and if they, they take a clinic, they get their little pin to wear and a sticker and all, and people come, or they just come to one of our events or shoots. They're Honeybelles, and people call us like, "What do I have to do to be a Honeybelle?" Come join us. That's all you have to do. Just come.
That is very cool. So I tell you what I'm going to do, Dee. When we get off here, I'm going to get all the information from you. I want to make sure and put your new website address right down in the show description. And I also want to put a link to the Facebook page, which I've already looked at, so I know where it's at. But I'll put that link to the Facebook page also in the show description. So any gals that are hearing this that were interested and would like to get a hold of you, right down there in the show description, they'll have all the contact info. So
Lynette did an amazing job on that website. I mean, and she put some of the pictures that we've had for the whole time. She loaded them all there. I sent her. She said, "I want more pictures." I sent her 400. I'm like, "How's that?"
Wow.
Leave me alone.
Plenty to choose from, that's for sure.
Sean's going to go home tonight and tell his wife he wants to be one of the honey dudes. So
that's
honey
right.
Dudes,
That's
yeah.
right, honey dudes.
Yeah,
Honey dudes.
Well, Dee, thank you so much. We appreciate you spending some time with us. If there's any big events or anything like that you want to get out there, get a hold of us. We'll throw it out there for sure.
Well, thank you. We're pretty excited about the way everything's gone here. So, and it's like I say, we're putting about 150 women through our clinics per season, from between September to April, and that's pretty much consistent now. So far this year, we've done 86 since September, 86 women through clinics. And we just want to keep that up. And fortunately, we have the support of the other lady shooters here that just want to see it happen too.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work without them, with the other ladies that have chosen to become coaches and come volunteer their time.
Yep.
It's really a family. And it's wonderful to be a part of that family.
Well, we definitely support everything you're doing, and thank you for what you're doing. Sincerely,
Yes,
it helps the whole sport. It really does. I mean, so anything we can do to help, please don't hesitate to reach back out to us, and we'll be here for you. So,
well, this was a great opportunity. I really appreciate you reaching out and making this offer.
Yeah,
our pleasure. Have we missed anything, Dee? Anything else that we need to touch on, or did we pretty much cover everything that you wanted to get out there? No pressure.
Sean's like, "Come on, no pressure, come on."
No, there's no pressure. There's no pressure. I just want to make sure we didn't miss anything.
I don't know. I think we've covered a lot of stuff in all the basics, and I don't think I'm going to offend anybody, but have left anybody out that I'm just going to say, "Oh my God," you know.
Yeah.
I think. That's
Doing your award acceptance, thanking everybody that made this possible, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
The reason we're here today.
Yeah.
Well, this has been great, Dee. I tell you what, this has been a lot of fun, and I think we've got a lot of information out there that will help some of the lady shooters down there in Florida get in connection with you guys, and hopefully bring a few more to you here in the weeks, months, and years to come.
Thank you again. Thank you for the opportunity, because it's for me, it's a passion.
Yeah,
to see the other women out there shooting and having fun, it just makes my day. And watching their scores go up, watching them improve, it's amazing.
That is a very, very cool story. I enjoyed hearing it very much, and hopefully this will push some more women to you. I would like to see it.
And for more states to do the same.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I want to say. Any states that are interested in following our footsteps and doing this, get in touch with me. FSCA Honeybelles at gmail.com. Or if you can't remember that, it's Dee Orr at Gmail. And we're more than happy to share everything we've learned, all of the procedures we've worked out, that we've worked on over time, our handouts, whatever. 100% more than happy to share with any other states, any other groups that want to do this.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you probably got lots of material you could share to help them get started, right?
Yeah, because we developed this program from scratch.
That's very generous of you.
You know, we tripped ourselves. We tripped a few times on the way up and learned a formula that works. And And more than happy to share those so they can start from where we are now.
Well, Dee, this has been absolutely fantastic, and we can't thank you enough for coming on here, and hopefully this will help get the word out. So it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on here, and we wish you nothing but success from here on forward.
Thank you.
Sean Ellie, that gal was fun.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure you noticed the parallel of what she does and how she gets excited when people come up to her after the fact that she got them in a shooting, and very appreciative. I mean, we experience that all the time. But I mean, it just goes to show you, all you do is have to give somebody opportunity. Get them out there with a gun in their hand, and then it sells itself. I mean, the sport is fun. The sport is enjoyable. As long as they don't have any problems, break a few clays, more than likely you're going to come back and want to do it again, right?
Yep, that's exactly right. And I like the way they're going about it. You know, they're focusing on the safety aspect first, making sure the gun fits, making sure they have proper equipment. They're not putting ounce and an eighth heavy hitters in the gun. You know what I mean? They're doing it the right way. And it's really cool to see. And I know this isn't the only organization out there that's doing it, but it's nice that we highlight these organizations and try to encourage other people that might be interested. You know, there might be, I don't know, please don't hammer me in the email if they do, but maybe New Mexico doesn't have a ladies organization that would like to start one. Well, you know what? Get a hold of Dee. She's got the information to help you get started. And, but that's all it takes, you know. Let somebody center up a target one time, and when they see it break, it's hook, line, and sinker. It sells itself.
Well, and I think that she made a very good point that, you know, no one person can do it all. It's all the volunteers that they have that have made it successful. So, you know, one person, you and I can go out and advocate for bringing people into the sport and go and taking them shooting and all that stuff. But it really has to fall upon a lot of our listeners to also pick up the flag and carry it forward. And, you know, you guys do your share, please, and introduce this sport to people that have never experienced it before, because you just never know. You might get somebody hook, line, and sinker that becomes a new part of our community. And that's the greatest thing ever.
That's right. Well, you know, I made a comment earlier in the podcast, Sean. I don't think you really caught it or it sunk in or whatever, but the only way you can be sure what's going on in the next chapter is to be the author, right? So,
Oh yeah.
You know, you got to get out there and make it happen. And we can't emphasize it enough. We want you to take someone new shooting. I mean, if you're not that guy, you say, man, I don't know. I don't like doing that or whatever. Somebody around you that shoots, you know, encourage them to do so.
Yeah.
Sean Elliott, we've got a whole host of people that help us out, that encourage us to come on week after week. Of course, all the people that listen to this podcast, we thank you so much. You know, it means the world to us, but we do have some people that help us out with some product and financially. Sean, do you want to run down real quick?
Yeah, just real quick. Big thank you to Kolar Arms. The Mainlands stepped up and sponsored us. They're our title sponsor this year. Couldn't do it without them. Jason and I sincerely appreciate that, and I'm very proud of shooting Kolar shotguns out there. Also, Fiocchi back again with us. We are fueled by Fiocchi, buddy, and we love our white rhinos, little rhinos, and everything in between. So big thanks to Fiocchi and everybody there. RE Ranger with us from the start. If you need some great glasses, you can't beat those Reacts. And they also have lots of other options, price points all over the board. Rhino, come on, the guys at Rhino are great. I mean, they do all kinds of gun work for you, fitting, porting, chokes, and they're just fantastic dudes.
And we've got some news coming from them soon, Sean Alley.
Yeah. So, keep that under wraps.
Okay,
keep that under wraps until we're there. And then Atlas Traps, American-made Atlas Traps. I'm telling you right now, you could do a lot worse than checking out Atlas and possibly giving Jason Rambo a call in case you need a few to set up your own little practice field in your backyard. He would definitely be happy to take care of you.
Oh, yes.
And then Long Range, Neil Chadwick, new on the board this year for 2025. Long Range Controllers. Thank you, Neil, for sponsoring the show. Last but not least, Taconic Distilleries. You know what? It's great to have a nice cold bourbon after the shoot when the guns are put up and everybody's sitting around talking and chatting about the shoot. We really thank Taconic Distilleries. And then last but not least, Score Chaser, the girls over there at Score Chaser and Casey Chase, bringing us all the info as often as they can. If you guys need to figure out where your shoots are, when they're happening, and where to book them, visit Score Chaser and get on there and take care of it.
And just another little teaser, because that's what we're good at. I did talk to Casey Chase during the national championship. Her and I sat down for a few minutes and talked, and she's got some new stuff that's going to be rolling out here soon.
Oh, sweet.
We're going to get her on to discuss that. I'm very excited about these changes because there's some stuff on there that's really going to help people along the way. So, yeah, thank you to those sponsors. I mean, huge help for the show. Huge help for getting all of you information each and every week. And listen, if you're listening to this and you're a man, go home and let your wife listen to this episode. And a lot of you are probably going, thanks. There goes my money from my shells. Well, you know what? This is a family sport. So, and maybe your wife will let you shoot a little bit more if she gets to go, right?
Yeah, suck it up, Buttercup. Come on.
Oh, boy. We're probably causing divorces all over the place. But no. Listen, we want everybody to enjoy the sport. Mom, dad, son, daughter, all of you. So, Sean Alley, our message every week.
Take somebody new shooting, just like we said in this episode. The more people you can get out there and expose to the sport, the better off we all will be. We'll grow the ranks, grow the community, and it sells itself. I say it week after week, guys. It sells itself. Just give them the opportunity. Watch the magic happen. That's all we ask.
Yep, for sure. So thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Dee Orr for coming on and talking to us. And Mr. Alley, until next week, my friend.
Can't wait to see you all back here on the Dead Pair Podcast.
We'll see you next time on the Dead Pair Podcast.
The Dead Pair. The Dead Pair Podcast is brought to you by Kolar Arms, the mark of performance, and is fueled by Fiocchi USA. Special thanks to the following sponsors: Atlas Traps, Ranger Performance Eyewear, Rhino Chokes, Long Range LLC, Taconic Distillery, Score Chaser, and Clay Range Design Works.